Hey everybody, welcome to Unscripted Real Estate Talk. Craig Lurch here with eXp Realty, coming to you live from WWDB AM Talk Radio 860. Man, we're getting close, getting the countdown for the new year coming in. We're going to be doing the ahas of some of 25 today that I wanted to recap. We had a guest that couldn't make it today just due to the weather, and a little bit of too much partying has seemed to be getting to everybody a little bit. But guess what? It's all about getting out there, see other people, give some hugs. It's the holiday season. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Merry Christmas coming up. And the ball is going to be dropping soon in New York City. So Unscripted Real Estate Talk. Don't forget to follow me on Unscripted Real Estate Talk on Instagram. Also, Craig Lurch Selling 215. You can always give me a call. Love to chat. Love to collaborate with you. If another agent you'd love to see about getting on the show, love to talk about successes, some of the events that you've had, reach out to me. You can always call me at 267-214-7728. If you're a vendor or shoulder business that you think can help some people in real estate, we're lining up some more guests for 2026. We would love to share some ideas with you. All right, topic today is top ideas that wowed me with some ahas, that have saved some money, that got my attention, that made me change some things in the real estate market and the business after 36 years, and also some of the things that other people had learned from listening to the show that kind of wowed them. So we're going to have some fun with that. But as we always talk about it, first of all, we got to talk about the city we love. We have got some great holiday stuff going out there. You've got the Miracle on 13th Street. You've got down by City Hall. You've got Love Park. Get out there. Get something warm on. Go walk around. I know we were walking around this weekend with some friends, Andrea, and Christian. We're in from San Diego for the Eagles game. We did the full Monty. We started at the Four Seasons, stopped at the Ritz, went over there and walked around the City Hall, which was going on. My wife had to get this sparkly Eagles sequin Eagles jacket. But you know what? She is glitzy, and she is my wife for 37 years. So thrilled to be able to do that with her and have some fun walking around the city of Philadelphia. Also, happy Hanukkah to everybody who's celebrating at this time of year. Got to check out some of the social media we've been posting. Thank you. First of all, thank you for following us on Unscripted Real Estate Talk. Thank you for following us on Craig Lurch Selling 215. Thank you for checking out our YouTubes. We're now over 1 million views in our Facebook in 30 days. We're over 50,000 views on information we're sharing, and it must be working. If there's anything I can do to make it better, I would love to hear. Just hit the button, follow up with us, send me some messages, and we'd love to chat with you and go from there. Again, a couple weeks ago, a week ago last Friday, we were out taping around the city of Philadelphia. It was so much fun, especially with the holiday season. Our upcoming show coming out, again, Selling 215, Made in Philly, will be coming out in January. We'll keep you posted on when that's going to get done. We had a chance to visit Yale Ale House with the Mullen family. Chris was fantastic. Saw him over the weekend. We were in town with guests. And again, also the saloon with Famous Frankie and the crew and that whole, and Anthony, unbelievable. If you get a chance to go to either one of those spots this holiday, please do it. All right. As I always do, did you know something interesting today? Something interesting today is National Maple Syrup Day. So if you love maple syrup, you got to go out and get some. I'll tell you, some friends of ours, I think they say they take some of these maple trees and then it's so cold that when it comes out, they start twisting it around like a stick up in Vermont, and they make these lollipops or something like that out of the natural Vermont maple syrup. I know friends of ours have brought them to us before. So if you're going that direction, try to do something different with that. Have some fun. And then again, guess what? This is the month of giving, the National Month of Giving. This is about going out, giving hugs, doing the things that we talk about that are in my funnels, which is change lives, make money, and have fun. As I've always said, changing lives is letting people pull out in front of you, especially this time of year. I did it a bunch at Wawa this morning. People getting mad because I let people go. But get over it. You were the one that's going to be late for work because somebody else is being nice. Go out and do something nice for some people. This is random. Go out. If you've got some old blankets, got some old heavy clothing, get it down to the shelters. Help everybody at the holiday times. Everybody's in need right now. Like I also say, the only person that could change the world without making money was Mother Teresa. So you got to go out and make some money. You got to give back. And we were on here with Ray Bernard, who is the founder of Impact Church over in Jersey. And the more you give, the more you're going to get. It's going to make you grow to a new level. It sets a new bar. 2026 is fantastic. This is the year to buy some real estate. Interest rates are there. If you want to set a plan on figuring out how to buy a house in 2026 or buy an investment property, this is the time. Get a hold of me. Give me a call, DM me, get me on Instagram. Love to sit down with you. I know a lot of people are traveling. I know a lot of agents aren't working right now. I'm working. While everybody else goes left, I go right. I'm here. We're selling houses. So if you want to set a game plan for into 2026, I'm here to help. We can set that plan. But again, it's the month of giving. And again, got to have some fun doing it. So maybe go put a Grinch outfit on and go out and give some gifts out. Put a Santa beard on. Put a Hanukkah menorah hat on. Do something. Just go out there and have some fun changing lives. All right, so let's get into some real estate talk. I got a new producer with me today. I got Val with me. Let's go, girl. I got them. I got Shane with me. I got her. I've got another guy. Oh, man, we've got everybody. Got a little changing of the guard coming up in here in 2026. So, hey, Val, sometimes I pull you guys in for participation. So I'm not going to do that today, though. We'll let you go on your first run with me. So, but welcome to the team. Let's get into some real estate talk. 2025 was an interesting year. There was some highs, there were some lows. I saw some months that got quiet. Talked to a lot of agents that felt maybe September, October was a little quiet. I can tell you right now, serious sellers, serious buyers are out looking at houses now. Why can I tell you that? Because my phone's blowing up with buyers that are sitting here saying, okay, what's my first game plan for right after the first of the year? And we actually have sellers that are saying, okay, what are we going to do when we unveil? Are we going to wait for May? Are we going to wait for April? I've been saying no. You don't know the future. You only know the present. So if you're thinking about it, like I said, if you're thinking about selling, this is the time you really want to sit down with your real estate professional. You want to sit down with your accountant. You want to sit down with that mortgage rep who is versed in multiple ways of doing mortgages. We've had all kinds of guests on here this past year. We're going to have some great guests on next year in 2026 talking about more programs that are going on the city. There are more grants that are coming out in the city. There are more grants, the PHFA in the state of Pennsylvania. There is investment properties, the RSDC loans that you can go out and get. That your income doesn't have to justify the mortgage as long as the property rental justifies it. So this is a good time to maybe look at taking your 401k money and maybe moving some of it to CAMA plan, where Joe Veluzio could help you out. And then we can ultimately go out and buy you a property with your 401k. Market has calmed down, but it's a great time to go do that. It takes you out of the volatility of some of the stock market and also gives you the standard part of growing it. We have property managers that can manage it for you, because remember, when you own those properties, you can't hand touch it. You can't be involved in it. Everybody else does it. They deal with all the toilet calls, the text calls, the tax calls, the turmoil calls, the tenants, and then you just get the return on your investment. So there's some ideas as what I saw in 2025. I see also homes sitting longer on the market. I see a lot of price repositioning. Why is that taking place? Because I'll be honest, the real estate agents are not being truthful sometimes in the price. They're telling sellers prices that ultimately, just to get the listing, try to pick up a buyer because they need it and they're starving and all that. But it's part of it. And if you're in that situation, you're an agent, need some help, hey, reach out. I'll tell you how to make some things work better. But we were on the show a couple of weeks ago with Joseph Bograd, and him and I were chatting after both being in the business a long time and being SOBs, sons of brokers. And the bottom line comes down to it as a professional, no matter what industry you're at, is to tell the truth. It is not about your situation. It is about telling the truth to the client. What's that marketplace really going to do? And why is it going to do that? And how's it going to do that? And who is that ideal buyer? Where are they coming from? What are they doing and why? Are they possibly moving? And once you figure out those values in that buyer that's going to be buying your home and making it unique and tell the story of the property and the value of the home, when you're marketing the home, it's not just the home, it's the things around the home. What are the schools? What are, the shopping places? What are the walking paths? What are the parks? What are the dog parks? What are the added values? Hospitals. Sometimes it's senior care if you have parents that you need to get into that. And if you're not using AI or your chat GPT to do that, shame on you. Shame on you. You can literally, I know when we talk to our chat GPT, who we've named Frankie, him and I talk all the time. I actually use that more than I use Google because it will tell you the things that you know of your area and what you're looking for because it answers to words that you're specifically asking. And we literally lay out everything around every one of our listings that shows all the amenities that's there. So it helps a buyer. It helps another agent. Sometimes agents come into the marketplace where showing a home they don't know all the information. And that ultimately will help the house. It'll help your seller, it'll help the seller, and it'll also help the agent who's working with that buyer to get the information that they need to make an educated decision. And people say to me, why do you do so much sometimes? And Joseph and I were talking about that, and with Nick DeLuca's been on the show, and Michael Guida's been on the show from EXP down South Philly, and and Mike Fabrizio over to Morano. You know why? Because it's our responsibility. It'd be malpractice if we didn't. It's like telling somebody, oh, we only 3/4 tighten the lug nuts on the wheels of the car. Our job is to totally tighten the lug nuts on the car, make sure that we're giving you everything you need to make the experience enjoyable. Moving is not easy. Buying is not easy. It's stressful. It's up there with death, divorce, all those things, okay, disasters. But our job is, as realtors, as a professional knowing what we're doing, a professional knowing what you're doing through the years with experience, is to give all the detail, is to dress it and make it look the best it can do. Think of it this way. It's like having a pretty house that's ready to go and not having the carpets vacuumed. It's like having a nice outfit on, going somewhere special, and having horrible shoes on. So that's where our job comes from. In 2025, I see there was a lot of polish, a lot of workup, a lot of cleanup, a lot of readjustment. I think 2026 is going to be a great year. It's going to be the 250th anniversary of the United States here in Philly. Our Philly market is on crazy. We've been getting the visitors guides. Everybody's been saying we're like in the top 5, and Zillow's been telling us, we're in the top 5 of what to visit around the country. So come to Philly, visit, talk to us about real estate, talk to us about the different neighborhoods. In Selling 215, what I love about it is it's not just selling real estate, it's about lifestyles. And every neighborhood has a different lifestyle. That's what's interesting. You've got the build-up warehouses areas that are changing and all the apartments down in Fishtown. And then you also have Fairmount, the green area, because you have the ability to get to the Rocky statue, which I hear people are, doing a little whining about. I don't know. I'm going to go on the point. I'm glad Rocky statue's staying here. I'm glad we have a bunch of them. I know somebody, Sylvester Stallone said, yes, we can keep it there and all that. But guess what, everybody? It's an important statue. It brings people to the city. It has some culture. It's been here. It's Rocky. Get over it. I'm sorry if it's not your opinion, but that's what I'm on the radio here, and I'm telling you my opinion is I'm glad the Rocky statue's staying and all that. And that's like saying, okay, it's not exactly. I'm waiting for the person to say Willie Penn shouldn't be on the top of City Hall. Come on, everybody. Willie Penn should be on the top of City Hall. It's 14 acres of floor space. It's the place where the United States has started from. It's the largest municipal building in the country, over 700 rooms, over 88 million bricks. So, you know what? Willie Penn's staying, everybody. All right, let's get into some of the topics that we talked about that wowed me last year. We talked about inspections with Christian Radamici and I said it right. after a bunch of practices when he was on this show with Titan Inspections. We learned it. Get deep. Understand that a home inspection is not to blow a deal up. Home inspectors are there to educate. They're there to show you what's presently a problem, what could be coming, and what is a warning for the future of maintenance. That's the key when you're dealing with home inspections. It is not an open game just to let's see if we can renegotiate prices. You're looking for defects, not recommendations. And I found that really interesting, and I love working with Christian and there's a couple other home inspectors we're going to have on this year to the show. They're not horribilizers. I know horribilizers isn't a word, but what they did is they educate. I'm at the home inspections. They take you through the process. They tell you the remedies. They make suggestions in timelines how to maintain the home. Buying a home and not having maintenance to the home or having it on schedule, it's like not going to the doctor or not going to the dentist and getting your teeth cleaned. Your house has to get taken care of. I recommend to you, and he's recommended to you, and so is Fresco Plumbing, who's been on our show and things of that nature. Get your spring cleanup, get your fall cleanup done on your systems, your heater, your air conditioner all the time. Every other year, get your roofer to come out that you understand. Get your flashing caulked, get your flashing redone, get all things of that nature. Get your plumber to come out, get Fresco to come back and check out some of those leaky faucets, especially toilets. Toilets, if you own investment properties, they're going to cost you money because they keep adding up. And if you live in the suburbs, that water that you're wasting ultimately will hit your sewer bill and hit your taxes also. So we learned a lot about inspections. TN Ward, Adam Panici. Yo, Ad. Great information, family business, and he's part of the company. His father runs it, and since 1918, changing the skyline of the city of Philadelphia. With Adam, we had an opportunity to discuss, where do we see the city going? Is the skyline really going to be changing in the upcoming year? He says there's not a lot of allocation for big cranes. He thinks there's only 1 in 26 that he had heard about. But what he did say was the office buildings are going to be changing. They're going to be going to apartments. So you're going to have high-rise apartments that didn't exist before. And again, it may not be next year in 26. It might be 27, 28. Remember, we have 1.5 million people living in the city, 4.6 million in the area. Some people might be taking some of these apartments, and some of those rents might come down a little bit because they're very expensive now, in that they're weekend events. They're retreats. Instead of maybe going to the beach, whatever it is, they're coming and living and playing in this city lifestyle, which is there. But also talked about taking some of these big office buildings and making them into assisted living, making them, over 55, not just making the over 55s the communities out in the suburbs that are singles, making them downtown. And to be honest with you, I don't know of any. And if you know of one, and if you own an over 55 development or something like that, or you're building one in the city of Philadelphia, and you'd like to come on the show and talk about it, I'd love to have that idea how there's an over 55 skyscraper building or certain floors, something of that nature. Kind of like the breakdown of the Laurel has. It has the condos up top and has the apartments down below. Same thing with the Rittenhouse, has the hotel and some apartments and condos. Same thing with the Bellevue, same thing with the Ritz. Love those ideas. But this is going to be an interesting mix as it goes forward. So TN Ward, Adam Panici had a lot of great information when we shared it there. Let's talk about Joe Reuter. Reuter Insurance, Joe Reuter, man, he killed it. He mentioned 2 things that is really, really important. If your roof and you're buying a home is less than 12, is like 12 to 15, 16 years, a lot of the insurance companies are doing drone flyovers, and they're actually making you put a new roof on. You might have a 25-year roof left, but the difference is they're going to be making you put it on because that's their highest claim rate. Coming off of bad roofs, causing leaks, and causing catastrophe and things of that nature. He also mentioned the wind. There is the wind corridor that comes through Philly. There has been an increase, 14% increase last year in homeowners insurance in 2024 into 25 that the state approved for all insurance companies. So think about that. I actually said to a couple of people to work at the insurance companies, I said, so you guys got raises. Did your staff get raises? So think twice. If you're the guy selling the real estate, make sure your staff is getting some of those raises also in there. The interesting one I found is I know that you can buy it through Aqua. I know you can buy it through the water departments and things, but did you know you can put your utility lines, which is your water lines, your sewer lines, for a small yearly charge? Joe mentioned like $20 to $50 a year, not the monthly charge of $25, $30, or $15, whatever it might be, to your insurance, homeowner's insurance, that would take care of those repairs. That's brilliant, because here's what I'm going to throw out to you. If you are using, and again, you can use any contractor you want typically to have those repairs done. If you're using Pico and some others, those have contractors you have to use. That leads us into the conversation that we've had with Fresco Plumbing. Billy Fresco was on. We had great information that we talked about. When you're buying a home, even if you're selling the home, especially if you're buying the home, have a sewer main inspection. I'm finding 50% now, 50% of all the clients and sellers we're working with are having some kind of hiccup, whether it needs to be a small area fixed, or whether it needs to be cleaned, whether it needs to be scraped, whatever it might need, an issue is coming up. Some townships, some boroughs require it as part of the transfer of the sale now. More and more are doing it because the age of them are there. If you're in the city of Philadelphia, absolutely no question about it, you're buying a property. I don't care if it's new construction. You should be getting those sewer lines checked. If you're a seller, I would have that homeowners on there. Doesn't mean you have to have it inspected to get it on there. Get it on there. If you're thinking about moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years out, that small amount of money, guess what? We'll fix it later on, because just because it's not broken now doesn't mean it's not going to break in the future, especially if the city of Philadelphia is out working on its streets and out working on the sidewalks. That is when some of the challenge comes in, because by them jackhammering and breaking things, it's disconnecting pipes underneath, and they don't check it, and they don't pay for the repair of it. So Fresco Plumbing, if you're looking to have a sewer main check, reach out to them. We suggest them all the time. They show up on time. They're good. They're professional. They've been on the show. That's what I'm giving them. So, all right, let's get into it. We have another one. Brian Fritz, Esquire, huge on safety and property. We actually touched on that with T.N. Ward also. T.N. Ward said the biggest line item on the big construction companies is the insurance cost. Brian was saying a lot of the companies fall short on the insurance, and they fall short on their OSHA, and that is really, really bad. So loved having Brian on, sharing the story about the big companies out there protecting the people that are working there. The other one was we had Brian Coliana, who was on. If you're thinking about doing a 1031 and you don't have a building yet, and you want to get rid of the 4 T's, which is the taxes, the tenants, the toilets, and the taxes, call me. I have buyers that are looking to buy properties. We're there to help, but here's the difference. We know how to save that money in a 1031. You do not need to buy another building. We can talk about Delaware statutory trusts. It'll still hold it'll still hold your 1031. It'll give you return on investment, and it'll give you an opportunity to plan a couple years out of what you want to do with it. We had Oleg Sokolov, who was on. By the way, do not buy an Airbnb in the city of Philadelphia unless you check if the neighborhood's going to be good with it. You need a license for Airbnbs in the city of Philadelphia. If you're looking for an Airbnb, if you own an Airbnb and you need help with it, you need help, reach out to me. You can always call me 267-214-7728. I'll connect you with Oleg. He is a master in getting them licensed in the city of Philadelphia and helping from there. Big shout out to my buddy on a couple weeks ago, Joseph Bograd. In dealing with our clients, our buyers and sellers, going into 26, I'm challenging every real estate agent. Don't put yourself first. Make sure that you're being professional in what you're doing. Tell